Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number 5 of the second season of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Qualifying was rained out yesterday, so it washed everything, like knockout qualifying and pole day qualifying completely washed. So the lineup has been set according to the provisions in the rule book. Basically, your starting lineup is the championship standings, which is from first all the way down to 24th. So you have Tatiana Noguera, Gretchen Muller, Michael Brown, Dylan Cunningham, all the way down to Luis Hernandez. They are first through 24th in points. So that is how the grid is set up. Unfortunately for Tatiana Noguera, this is not going to count for her second pole of the year because time trials were not run. 25th on back, this gets a little complicated. You're looking at the rest of the starting lineup. Because the 50 truck did not enter, everybody from the 9 on down moved up a spot. So Takashi all the way down to Quentin Moore all moved up a spot. And then Lucci and Bianchi Scarlett Wallace moved up 2 spots in the standings. And they were the ones that will get to race. So you basically already know, and I know some people are going to be asking, well, who are the drivers that failed to qualify? All those drivers that we've seen, like the 27. There was a couple of drivers that were going to make their debuts here in the Truck Series. Unfortunately, they had to go home, did not even get a chance to qualify, but they will get a chance to qualify at our next race after we take care of the solo weekends with the Cup drivers, starting next week at Sonoma's. The trucks are rolling off. And here are those said points. Tatiana Noguera, 16 points ahead of Gretchen Muller. Those two are 1 and 2 in the Rookie of the Year standings. Michael Brown, third in the standings, 17 back. 24 back is Dylan Cunningham. 27 back is Bora Park. Anthony Ricci failed to qualify for Phoenix, dropped to 6th in the standings as he is starting 6th. Dylan Ebrahimian, 39 back in 7th. 64 back is Ashton Ingersoll, who's 41 back in 8th, 42 back, Sam Vickers 9th, and Mike Simpson complete the top 10. So that's basically how the lineup was set. So all those drivers like William Brock and all those that came into this weekend with no points or little points to fall back on to get a provisional, unfortunately for them, they ended up going home. So the drivers who would D&Q would be Pedro Sales, Tyler Thomas, Rogel Dorn, Victor Alves, Trinity Lee, Cody Goforth. That's a big name right there who is DNQ'd. First time Cody Goforth has failed to qualify for a truck race. He fell all the way down to 50th in the points after the points got fixed from last week at Phoenix. I'm going to throw a little disclaimer after the green flag comes out. Maria Steiner, Jacob Foster, and all those other drivers who don't have, that were not high enough in points to be locked in when qualifying got rained out. Unfortunately for them, they ended up going home. Green flag is in the air. I'm going to throw a disclaimer right now. Anything I say about the truck race in the Busch Series race tomorrow, ignore that. Because those will be wrong. So just giving you guys a little heads up. Also for the Truck Series drivers, because of the fact that they have not been on track all weekend, and the only thing we've had on track here today was Busch qualifying, they will throw a competition yellow at lap 25. The Craftsman Truck Series officials will throw a caution at either lap 20 or 25. So these drivers would make some adjustments and come to pit road because of the lack of rubber or the rubber that got washed. So basically we have a green racetrack. The good news is the points are now fixed. That's the good news, which will be now the updated points when we go to Pocono in a few weeks' time. So this is the last race with the Truck Series drivers. Also, this is the first race with this season's owner points. Now that qualifying got rained out, And the lineup had to be set by points, by this season's points. Which I bet a number of people like Noguera, Ashlyn Wright, they were kind of happy to have qualifying canceled, but now they're on track on it. They're now on the racetrack with a green racetrack. And why do we have a green racetrack? All the rubber is washed off. The track got cleaned off of rubber. The only on-track activity we've had today, as I said, has been Busch qualifying. There's Ashlyn Wright going to take the lead as she'll lead a lap. Ashlyn Wright will take part in tomorrow's Busch Series event. She's also going to try to attempt to qualify for the Cup race on Sunday because she's right near the 35th in the standings cut line. This is also the last race for the Cup drivers using last season's points. Starting Sonoma next week, they'll go by this season's top 35. So really apologize if there was no on-track activity, which I've already explained it to everybody in the Discord. Ashlyn Wright is now 15th in points. Had a good run last week at Phoenix. Of course, that was the race I had to redo due to the fact I screwed up on Daniel Gitirokh's name. So I felt like, why don't we go ahead and redo both Phoenix and Auto Club, and then everything else will be back to normal, and we will not have any issues between now and then. I know it's weird that Zach Foster, who's making his second start, got to make the show, and his brother unfortunately didn't make the show. But we'll see him tomorrow trying to make the Cup race. Jacob Foster, they're nearly 5 wide back there at the rear of the field. They were nearly 5 wide, but they kept it together somehow, some way. I think these drivers, what they're doing is they're trying to be a little bit more cautious with the fact that, we have little rubber on the track. As this race goes on, they will start getting that rubber back into the racetrack. And the forecast for tomorrow and on Sunday looks marvelous. So, yeah. So it's 50 laps here today. I know in the Busch race I said 63, but ignore the stuff that I talked about from this race today. Ignore that for tomorrow because of the fact that I've had to fix these 2 races. I accidentally deleted the Auto Club race you saw, so I apologize about that mistake. But it's okay. As Anna Berger now takes the race lead. But everything will be fine. Everything will be back to normal. 13th in the points is where Anna Berger is in points. That's where she started. Abigail Furling climbed all the way up to 11th in points. That's great for Abigail. Scarlett Wallace started last. Even though she's like 44th in the points, she got the final spot because of the fact qualifying was rained out, went by driver points, and because the 50 truck was not entered this week, they got a lucky break. Caution! Michael Brown has crashed. Oh, Skylar Davidson a heavy hit, and Sam Vickers involved. Oh boy, caution is out. And Skylar Davidson came in this race 29th in the points. That's where she started. Michael Brown, top 10 of the points. This is almost like his test rate. Almost like the test race. Timo Mauser's gone up in smoke. Timo 19th in the points. Looks like an engine failure. Oh, I also noticed the 13's got an engine failure. That's Bora Park. Looks like she's got an engine problem, so that's not good for a number of drivers. Remember, we have a competition yellow, and looks like these drivers are going to come to pit road. So I wonder if the officials are going to rule this as the competition yellow. And we are being told it is going to be the competition yellow. So we got some drivers coming to pit road, some drivers going to stay out. Let's jump back, look at a replay to find out our first caution of the day with Michael Brown and Skylar Davidson in trouble here in the Bush's Best 200 here at Auto Club. I can bet you this was not the homecoming Michael Brown was hoping for, as Maisie Creighton went 4 wide with Daniel Gitirokh and Skylar Davidson. Trying to see where the contact. I don't know if Michael came down or Skylar came up. Whatever the case, the two did make contact. Lifted both trucks up in the air. I noticed some skid marks over here in turn number 3. Somebody looked like they spun out. Oh, it was a 75. That would be Sam Vickers who spun out. I think he was the one who hit the upside down 36. Yep. Oh, got him in the right front. Probably did some damage to the right front suspension. Fortunately, Skylar Davidson is going to be out of the top 30 in the points just like that. But then what happened to the... Because somebody ended up smoking. It was Mauser. What happens here? Oh, the engine just let go when he crossed the start-finish line. Was running 33rd. So this is bad for Timo Mauser. So that's why the caution is out for the first time today. Mauser's day is unfortunately going to be done. He's going to have to qualify his way in at our next race at Pocono. That'll be in several weeks' time, as we're going to head to the restart here at Auto Club. Major development as we're coming back to green on lap number 13. Something is wrong. T Noguera, the championship leader, has lost the engine or whatever the issue is on her truck. And that's critical because the guy that's going to be out of the race when we'll document it in just a minute. Anna Berger's the leader, Mohammed Zain second, Mark Games third, Scarlett Wallace fourth, Anna Steiner is fifth, Ruby White. Danny Johnson will now be 7th. Gretchen Muller 8th. 9th will be Oskin. And Ingrid Pollard complete the top 10. There's now going to be 5 drivers now out of the race as a result. Tatiana Noguera, who has lost the engine, she came in this race as the rookie and the overall points lead. So she is done for the day. Timo Mauser, the engine did let go on his truck, and that was coming to the caution. And then Sam Vickers, Michael Brown, Skylar Davidson were all out of the race from that first caution of the event. So we've lost 5 trucks just like that in the span of the first part of this race. As we're going to go back to green flag racing, what a tough break for Tatiana Noguera. This is going to be a good opportunity for the gal that came in this race second in the points as we're back to green. Where is the 52? 52 is in 8th. That's Gretchen Muller. She is the gal that's trying to run down the points leader, Tatiana Noguera. So a bad day for Captain Frank just got worse. Mauser out of the race as a result. Bianchi, where did Bianchi restart? Bianchi restarted in 35th. He was one of those drivers that came to pit road under that caution. A lot of them did not come to pit road, as Mark Games is going to lead that lap. It is a header issue that has taken Tatiana Noguera, unfortunately, out of this race. So as I said, we are now down to 5 drivers just like that. So the problem has now been terminal, and that is 2 of the 3 Captain Frank drivers out of this race just like that. Remember, Noguera was first in points, was the points leader. Michael Brown, who was also another driver who was trying to run down Tatiana Noguera for the points lead out of the race, he was third in the points. Let me see where everybody else is running in points, because I'm going to have to fix the Go Home session after this race is done. Sam Vickers was 9th in points. Another driver running well in the standings. Mauser, I believe, is going to drop out of the top 30 along with Skylar Davidson. But remember, it's going to depend on where they're going to be lined up, because remember, with the 46 not entered, it's going to really change where they're going to be positioned in the points. And of course, Danny Johnson made the race because of where he is in points. Even though he was 32nd in points, he started 31st. Why? The 50 truck was not entered. That's why. And we are scheduled still for that competition yellow. So these drivers that have not come to pit road, they're going to get a caution in the next 10 laps or so. And we don't have any stragglers, so that is good. There's Mark Simpson back here at the rear of the field. Mark is 10th in points. He's made every race this season. Erica Douglas, we'll see her. Erica Douglas has been rumored she's going to attempt to qualify for the Cup, for some Cup races later this season. Abigail Furling. Also need to go over who's our former winner here at Auto Club. If we ran here in season 1, I'm going to double check that right now while we're on about to be lap 18 of 50. Do not remember if we raced at Auto Club last season, but I'm going to double check that. Yes, we did race here last season, as Anna Berger is now the race leader. Of course, this race was called the Reese's 200. The defending winner of this event, you will see, I do not think made tomorrow's Busch Series race. That winner, Harrison Jenkins, runs in the Busch Series. Fortunately for him, I believe he was one of a handful of drivers that did not make the show. So the 14 truck by D Gitirokh trying to go back-to-back, running in 15th right now. Shyla Ascroft running in the mid-20s in the points table. Needs to get her season together. She is 23rd in the points. Was a total of 12 points above the 30th in the standings cut line. Maisie Creighton, there she is 20th in the points, 13 points above the 30th in the standings cut line to stay locked into every race. Really important for Creighton and Ascroft. Ascroft, by the way, will be attempting to qualify next week in the Winston Cup Series event at Infineon Raceway. Next week, it's just the Cup drivers that weekend. The following week, we'll take an off week, and we'll be at Champs-Élysées again with the Cup drivers. And then we'll have another off week, and then the Busch drivers will join up with the Cup drivers at Martinsville. Yes, I said Martinsville dirt in both Busch and Winston Cup races. But, as I've already mentioned last week at Phoenix, because of the fact that Martinsville dirt was going to be a wreck fest, I decided that it was for the best interest. We just run the regular Martinsville. So hopefully everybody is okay with that. So ignore what I said about Martinsville dirt next week, or in the Busch and Cup races here this weekend, like I talked about last weekend at Phoenix. Expecting the competition yellow to come out within the next few laps. They're going to say lap 25. So these drivers that have not been to pit road versus those drivers who have been to pit road, they can make it the rest of the way. Regardless if we have a caution or not. Because remember, you can go 50 laps, but I doubt these drivers that did not come to pit road, they can make it the rest of the way on field. Oh, we got a wreck. Panini's in the wall. Well, so much for throwing the competition yellows. Panini's backed in the wall. The caution is out. This will be the competition yellow. The officials have confirmed this will be the competition yellow. I can't believe. Oh, Abigail Furling's on the apron. What's going on there, Ab? Hopefully, she doesn't have a problem. Looks like she doesn't. She was on the apron for some reason. Not sure what that was all about. Our second caution of the day. And I would expect those drivers that did not come to pit road now. Zachy Panini's got a lot of damage on his Toyota, the only Toyota in today's race. I wouldn't be surprised if those drivers that just came to pit road comes back to pit road for tires. That way everybody's now on a playing field. But while they make that decision, we're going to jump back and look at a replay to find out what happened to cause our second caution of the day as we're going to be at the midway point of today's race. Saw this a lot during pole day qualifying today, where a driver was trying to go to the inside and somebody tried to shut the door, and that didn't work. And just looks like the 34 thought he was clear to come down. Unfortunately, the 66 was there and just backs the Toyota into the wall. No wonder we got away with only a one-truck incident. And Panini was the leader at the time. And Zach came into this race 18th in the points, dropped 10 spots after last week's race at Phoenix. I believe he failed to qualify. Yeah, he failed to qualify, I believe, for last week's race. So, tough break for him as he was looking to keep himself in the top 30 in the points, and that's not good. So, he's going to have a lot of damage. So, the yellow's out for the second time today. Let's get to the restart here at Auto Club. Back here at Auto Club Speedway, nobody came to pit road under the caution, which is a little bit surprising to me. Anna Steiner is the race leader. Danny Johnson in second. Macy Creighton third. Shyla Ascroft in fourth. Anthony Ritchie fifth. Chikira Takashi is sixth. Ashlyn Wright seventh. Dylan Cunningham eighth. Ninth is Anna Berger. And 10th is Joshua Ambrosio, making his second straight start in the series. Nobody out of the race from that instant, but that 34 will be off the pace as a result. I'm kind of really questioning why these drivers that did not come to pit road under that first caution, why they elected to stay out. Do they think that these cautions is allowing them to save fuel under pacing? I don't know for sure. Boy, if they have to come to pit road after having the chance to pit, that's literally going to come back to haunt them. Not trying to say that's a bad thing in any way, shape, or form, but they really should have came to pit road, because those drivers that pitted under that first caution, they have much fresher tires than these drivers who are still on these same tires since the start of the race, as we're back to green here at Auto Club. So really a questionable strategy that I really do hope it does not come back to haunt them. As We're now getting ready to come up to 20 laps of racing to go. I'm starting to wonder if this strategy is going to really backfire them. Zachy Panini is the only one that came to pit road because he had damage on his truck, so he's good to go the rest of the race. But some of these drivers who came to pit road, see, like Abigail Furling, she's good to go the rest of the way because she came to pit road. It's all those leaders that did not come to pit road, as my mouse is starting to glitch up again for some reason. I'm just questioning why these drivers are not coming to pit road, especially the leaders that did not come to pit road under that yellow. And I bet you they're going to pay the price for this. Unless they feel confident they can make it the rest of the way, but that is a bit borderline. I know they cannot go that far on a set of tires. I can guarantee you that. So I'm really questioning that strategy. As we're down to 20 laps of racing to go here at Auto Club. Tomorrow, pole day qualifying for the Winston Cup Series at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific, followed by the Busch race at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Then Sunday, it's the Winston Cup Series race at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. An extra 25 laps in Busch and 50 laps in the Cup race. And we will not see these Truck Series drivers until our race weekend at Pocono. That's when Busch and Cup will meet up with the truck drivers, and we'll go to Pocono Raceway, as we're going to have a quadruple header to finish off the first half of the regular season. As Anthony Ritchie, Danny Johnson rubbing with Shyla Ascroft. That was almost a wreck. Thankfully, it wasn't. Ascroft had to get some room. Oh, I don't like the looks of this right here. I think Shyla's going to have to back off. Danny Johnson made contact with Shyla, and there they go, in the wall. I knew that was going to happen. Danny Johnson upside down. Douglas is involved. Steiner involved, and the caution is out like that. You knew that was not going to work, folks. Now what do you do? Gee, many crickets. You knew that was not a good idea. And unfortunately took 3 of the DVR girls out of this race. Douglas is done. Shyla is done. That's not good for Shyla. Caution's out for the 3rd time today. Will these drivers come to pit road? Those that did not pit. And it's looking like none of them are coming to pit road. If they run out of fuel, that's on them for doing that. So the yellow's out for the 3rd time today. Let's go back and take a look at a replay and see what happened as we're almost to 15 to go here at Auto Club. Well, with the way they were going 4 wide, something had to give. Shyla was doing her best not to try to get involved in that. See, she makes contact with Danny Johnson. And you're thinking, okay, Danny may be okay. We can continue, right? Well, Anna Steiner had to stick her nose in, turn Erica Douglas, and then all 4 trucks go in the wall. Didn't look like a whole lot of damage on the 2, but unfortunately looked like suspension failure is going to take her out of the race. So just like that, 3 DVR girls, Steiner, Anna Steiner, Douglas, and Ascroft, and Danny Johnson was running 5th at the time of this wreck. So the caution out, our 3rd of the day. Let's head to the restart here at Auto Club. Well, I was just talking about something going on, and the 66 has a tire going down. So Anna Berger will have to come to pit road. That will turn the race lead over to Maisie Creighton. Dylan Cunningham would be 2nd, Gitirokh 3rd, Ashlyn Wright 4th, Anthony Ritchie will now be 5th, Oskin White, Ruby White, Sophia Woodward, Addison Peterson, and now Zach Foster will go in the top 10 as a result. Now you wonder why I question that strategy, especially rookie drivers as a result. Drivers out from that incident: Erica Douglas, Shyla Ascroft, Danny Johnson, Anna Steiner. They are out of the race. They joined Tatiana Guerra, Timo Mauser, CM Vickers, Michael Brown, and Skylar Davidson back behind the wall. So, not been a good day for DVR World NOS Racing, I can tell you that for certainty. And we're being told the 62 also has a tire problem. That's Abigail Furling. And she just pitted back on that first caution. I'm wondering if there was a debris that I didn't see. As we're back to green here at Auto Club Speedway. So tough break for Abigail Furling. It was looking like that pitch strategy was going to work. Unfortunately, it didn't. Wonder if there was some debris that the 66 ran over, and she is now down in a way. It was the left front tire, I believe, went down. So both of those drivers will now get back out on track, but they have lost any chances of a solid result just like that. Now it makes you wonder why you should have came to pit road. I really question that strategy. And the question is, who's going to make it from here on tires? As they're going to catch Abigail Furling. Unfortunately, Abigail's going to go a lap down, since I won't be able to do lucky dogs. As Abigail just held up that inside line. That's going to allow D Cunningham, who, by the way, won last week at Phoenix, to take the lead. Abigail is now up to speed. Unfortunately, now a lap down. That was a tough break for her. Was hoping that strategy was going to work. It was looking like it was going to work, but wasn't meant to be. Anna Berger would like to see a caution. Especially those drivers that have not come to pit road. They need to come to pit road very soon, because I'm starting to get a little worried about why they did not come to pit road, change tires. I mean, you guys have got to think they need to come to pit road, and it's going to hurt their chances of a good result just like that. Easy Creighton going to be the leader. And remember, the 34 is off the pace due to the damage he got. But surprisingly, he's keeping up with the leaders. I thought that damage was going to hurt him aerodynamically, but at least it's on the back end and not on the front end. But at some point, that damage is really going to hurt him. And on an aerodynamic track like Auto Club, when you have that damage, that's not good. Anna Berger's running off at turn 4. The leaders are entering 3. So Berger will make it the rest of the way on fuel, as Creighton looking for the race lead. But the question is, as we're inside 10 to go, for those drivers who did not pit, are they able to make it the rest of the way? I'm starting to think no is the answer. Zach Foster looking for his first career win in the Truck Series. I think if you're any of those Busch or Cup drivers that are racing this weekend, like Ashlyn Wright, what do you learn today that you can apply for tomorrow? Especially those that are trying to make the Cup race on Sunday. because the Cup race will be 2 times longer than the truck race. I think that's going to be the big question on my mind. And Auto Club, I believe, is going to play a point shakeup. And this gal right here is more than likely going to take the points lead and the rookie points lead, but that's going to depend if she has to make it on fuel. Oh, crash! Crash! Into the wall goes the 11 of Sophia Woodward. Ozkan, Zane, and Ebrahimian involved. Oh, that's a nightmare for Summit's team as the yellow is out. And that was a bad caution for Abigail Furling. But this gal just caught a lucky caution. Anna Berger. So Anna Berger will stay on the lead lap. Boy, if you're Anna Berger, you better be lucky that caution came out. Zach Foster is the leader. Now, what do? Woodward's involved. Ebrahimian's got a lot of damage. Same with Ozkan. There is no way these drivers, as my mouse won't stop double clicking for some reason. Oh, they're going to stay out. I don't like this strategy. Those that did not come to pit road. I really think this is going to hurt them. But we're going to jump back, look at a replay, see what happened as our third yellow is out here at Auto Club. Well, we talked about 4 wide was not a good idea. Unfortunately, Zane's turn, Sophia Woodward collected his team owner and Dylan Ebrahimian into the wall. Those drivers were having good runs, though. Unfortunately, it's going to come to a screeching halt. Sophia came in as race 17th in points. She'll slide through the points table. Ebrahimian 7th in points. Mohammed Zain 28th in the points. This is going to drop him out of the top 30. Samad Ozkan 31st in points. Trying to get back in the top 30. He was 3 points behind the 30th in the standings cut line. And then as I'm trying to go back and see who was trying to leave the Sandy accident, Ebrahimian, we already mentioned. So a lot of drivers who came in running well in points did not need something like this to happen to them. And Auto Club has played its part in a point shakeup as we're heading to the restart here in Southern Cal. Well, I don't know about this strategy of not pitting 50 laps and making it on one set of tires, which is starting to question. We're going to have 3 laps to go. Zach Foster, the leader, Bora Park, 2nd. Gretchen Miller, 3rd. Ingrid Pollard, 4th. Anthony Ritchie, 5th. Dora Schmidt, Chikara Takashi, Maisie Creighton, Mark Games, and Scarlett Walls complete the top 10. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association, the Blue Hedgehog TV, for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmit or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Ebrahimian, Ozkan, and Woodward, the 3 drivers now out of the race. Unfortunately for Abigail Furling, she got trapped a lap down. That's going to really hurt her. And Anna Berger, who had a flat tire coming to the last restart, that caution saved her from going a lap down and ruining her race. Green flag back in the air with 3 laps to go here at Auto Club. And it makes you wonder, is this strategy even going to work? Of course, Anthony failed to qualify. I will be not surprised if they try to make it on fuel. I think these cautions they've been doing a good job saving fuel, but somebody's going to have to pit for tires, for heaven's sakes. As my mouse cannot stop double clicking for some reason. So we're down to 2 laps to go here at Auto Club. Do these drivers that have not pitted since the start of the race, are they even going to make it the rest of the way with the cautions that have been helping them save fuel? I can tell you this strategy is really going to either be a great strategy or if this strategy is going to come back to haunt them. White flag is in the air. One more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Bora Park is right all over the back of the 51 truck. Zach Foster, 37th in the points. He was 10 points behind the 30th, or no, check that. He was 13 points behind the 30th in the standings cut line. We're going to see where this is going to situate him as Zach Foster is going to victory lane, winning the Bush's Best 200. On a strategy that I questioned was not going to work, apparently worked for the 51 team. I bet you all those Busch and Cup teams are looking at that going, how did he do that? And I'm asking myself how he did that. There was no way, and I'm being honest here, there is no way he pulled that strategy off, and apparently he did. Bet you he'll be out of fuel before you know it. Bora Park will get second, Gretchen Muller third. This will give Gretchen Muller the points lead. Anthony Ritchie, Maisie Creighton, well-needed run from her. Mark Games, Ingrid Pollard, Chikara Takashi got 9th, good run for him. And Luis Hernandez and Dara Schmidt will get 10th. Where will 10th situate Dara Schmidt? 38th in the points. She was 14 points below the 30th in the standings cut line. Has she done enough to get herself back into the top 30 in the points to be locked in the show? We'll have to wait and see. Ashton Ingersoll, Dylan Cunningham, 1 week removed from his first career win, got 12th. Alina Ritchie, Quinton Moore, Lucian Bianchi complete the top 15. A lot of drivers really had a tough day today. As you look on down to the remainder of the finishing results, 12 of the 42 starters did not reach the conclusion of the race. Mohammed Zain, the last driver to finish on the lead lap in 29th. Anna Berger was on her way to winning this race until a flat tire took her to pit road and never recovered as far as that is concerned. Abigail Furling also had a flat tire but fell a lap down, never recovered, comes home in 30th. Thought that strategy was going to work. It unfortunately was going to work, but unfortunately had to make that unscheduled pit stop. And then 12 drivers did not reach the conclusion of this race, and this is going to have some major implications on what this means for the points going into Pocono in several weeks' time. As tough break for a number of drivers. Tatiana Noguera will lose the rookie points lead and the overall points lead. Michael Brown, third in points. He's really going to take a hit in the standings. So Auto Club has played its part in a point shaker-upper, and we might have gotten ourselves a point shake-up heading into next time out's race at the Pocono Raceway. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We've shown your full finish results. The point standings are down in the description heading into our next race at the Pocono Raceway. That will be after we are done with the 2 road course races with the Cup drivers. Pole day qualifying on Saturday, race on Sunday next week at Sonoma. Then we'll take an off week and run Champs-Élysées with pole day qualifying also on Saturday, the race on Sunday. Hope you will join us for that. But we got to finish up this race weekend tomorrow afternoon. It's the Busch Series race here at Auto Club Speedway. And then Sunday, the Winston Cuppers close out this race weekend before, as I said, next week we'll have Cup drivers standalone at the Infineon Raceway in Sonoma, California. Until then, for our studio engineer, Caleb Hobbs, I'm D DeVos. Thank you for joining me and saying good night from Auto Club Speedway of Southern California. We congratulate Zach Foster on his first career win in the Craftsman Truck Series. Coming up next, we'll rejoin the Infinity Network Sports Studios programming already in progress. I'll talk to you again tomorrow, everybody. You've been watching the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013.